In today's class, let's learn a bit about how to write a research or a project proposal. So, while writing a research proposal, the first thing you'll have to know is what is a research proposal. So, after evaluating the problem, you have to prepare and write down a proposal, synopsis, or a plan for undertaking the project work. That is, you're planning to do a project on something, and after the evaluation of the problem or the thing you are going to do in your project work, you'll have to write down a proposal for that research work. So, how do we write that project proposal or a research proposal? That is what we are going to learn now, the basics of it. So it would include a statement of the problem and its significance. Both these must be there in a research proposal. The formulation of hypothesis, if any, should be there. The method indicating the selection of sample, how you have selected the sample, the what method you have employed for that should be mentioned. And another important factor is the tools, techniques to be used in the collection and analysis of data. That is, while you are conducting a project, while you are going to work on a research, you have to mention the tools and the techniques you are going to use in the data collection and its analysis. And finally, you should have a detailed bibliography. And now, a project proposal or a research proposal, what is it? It is a systematic plan which brings to focus the preliminary planning that will be needed to achieve the objectives of the proposed project. That is, it is a preliminary planning, the planning done before we start the project. And a or a project proposal, it must have information about what you are proposing to do, how you plan to do it, and why you select the proposed strategy. Okay, so what you're proposing in that, and how do you plan to work on the project, and why you have selected this particular strategy for this project. And now the following categories of information should be carried in the proposal. So, what all should be mentioned in the research proposal or a project proposal? These are the definitions, problems, and limitations must be mentioned. A statement of the objectives of the study should be there. A list of hypotheses. If you're testing any, it should be there. The research instruments you're planning to use, it must give a clarified information of the research instruments you're going to use. And the information on sample size and sampling design related to your project. Information on data processing procedures must be there. And there must be an outline of the proposed chapters for the report if possible, and a proposed time frame must also be there. And now let's see the proposal, how it should appear, in what order it should appear. So see, in the first page, we'll have a cover page and a second title page. The second page must be a title page. Then you should have a certificate of approval, and then approval of organizational and faculty guides must also be there as a fourth page. And now, from page 5 to 6, you'll have an abstract, and for the seventh page, you need to have an acknowledgement of the project work you are going to do. And in page 8, eighth page, you'll have the table of contents. Then, as a table of contents, and the ninth page, you'll have the list of figures. Then you must have a list of tables and a list of appendices, and you should have the abbreviations. And now, coming to the main part of the research proposal, you should have an introduction. And while coming to the project, you will have an introduction, background of the study or review of literature must be there. The methodology used for the project, it should be there. Then a proposed chapter division, you have to include a proposed chapter division, and references or the bibliography should be mentioned, and you should have a time schedule for that. And then appendices also should be mentioned. So these are the things you will have to include in your project proposal, and this is a order of it. Okay, so do remember this. Please take note of this also. And so that is what we are going to discuss in this class. It is a very short portion we are discussing, but we'll have to work on this a bit more, because it's, as you know, a research proposal. While we explain in theory, it's a bit difficult to grasp, or you might not be that familiar with all these terms. But rather, if you get into it more, while having this idea or this theoretical background, and then we are going to do a research, or we are preparing a research proposal, then you'll have a bit more clear idea of this. So this is what we have discussed in today's class. I hope you have understood this. So thank you.